Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar The Last Airbender episode commentary. This is going to be the episode commentary for 208 The Chase. Once again, this is a recording from about 1.5 years ago, so that's why there's no mention of Korra in relation to Avatar. So just to let you know beforehand that it is older audio. It's not like just recorded a few days ago. But anyway, if you want to set up your episode 208 Chase to get in sync with this commentary, set it up so that obviously you're going to see the Fire, Earth, Air, Water intro of the episode, and just have the episode ready to start with the intro, and then I'm going to stop speaking here, and there's going to be a pause, and then when I start speaking again, that's when you should hit play on your episode, and then you'll be synced up the commentary track and the episode. So that's how you do it. I'm going to stop speaking now, so just press play when I start speaking again. Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Bannon or SB Prime. I'm the site super moderator for Avatar The Last Airbender Online.com. I'm here with the episode commentary for 208 The Chase. We've had the last episode was a character episode completely focused on Zuko, and now in this one we kind of come to character focused on how Toph integrates into the group and the kind of struggles of the kind of trio that Aang, Katara, and Sokka have been. They've had a kind of great relationship all between each other, and how kind of adding a fourth member to that group changes things. And then we also deal with kind of pretty much the first time of Azula, Mai, and Ty Lee chasing Team Avatar. We pretty much have the first kind of confrontation. Well, it is the second one between Ozai's Angels and Team Avatar, and how Zuko kind of comes into this. Again, another kind of triangle thing, like the one in season 1 between Zuko, Zhao, and we have kind of almost 3 separate stories set up before this episode, and this one brings them all together. It's been a few episodes since there's been a major kind of conflict between all the characters. And then Aang, as the air nomad, knows all about kind of nature, and kind of just reveals his knowledge about the beauty of spring. Appa gets a new coat of fur, but in doing that, it's all the oldest ones gonna fall off. And then we're kind of introduced straight away with the fact that, Katara expects Toph as a kind of girl to be kind of like her, but no, she's just like one of the guys. Hairy Pits, and Katara laughs but doesn't kind of join in. Again, she is the more serious one of the group. And here we have them all doing their kind of their own kind of tasks when they set up camp. They all have their own things, but Toph, as the new member, kind of doesn't have a role as of yet. But Toph, she's simple. She can just use her earthbending to make a tent. She has her stuff. She can carry her own weight. She's kind of not used to having friends, as we kind of found out in the last episode. This is her first time having friends, being part of a group. So she thinks I'll just take care of myself, they'll all take care of themselves. Katara trying to kind of apologize for kind of being maybe a bit too intense with her at the start. And then Toph just kind of throws it right back at her. He's like, yeah, you are tired, aren't you? Katara's just like, okay, I'm just going to have to... and I'll get through to her eventually, that sort of thing. But here's kind of where, like it might have been resolved kind of like the next day. The fact that, they're chased to kind of exhaustion by Azula in the kind of super Fire Nation kind of tank thing. You have the fact that Toph's kind of seismic sense is kind of better than sight. Obviously, they're already tired after the first one because they haven't got sleep for that night. They may get some good distance and land a good to try and sleep again. Once again, they have to make camp. And like, kind of tough is at the thing. Like, she knows they've been traveling for a while, so like, they're used to doing everything on their own. Toph needs to learn to integrate into the group. And then like Sugar Queen just gets on Katara's nerves. She's just getting angrier and angrier. She shuts the door in her face. And like Aang and Sokka just look at each other and it's like, this is funny. And then just a hilarious moment. I'm completely calm with the most angry look you've ever seen on your face ever. And they're all kind of sleep deprived. And then just like kind of cruel blind joke from Katara. She gets rightly kind of earthbended onto the other guys. And you kind of get this is what the episode's going to be like. They're just going to get tireder and tireder, and they're going to have to somehow deal with kind of like Toph integrating into the group during this kind of harsh moment. And the way that this episode is kind of constructed, and that, they set up, Appa's getting a new coat, but all of his old fur is shedding. That's why they can follow them everywhere. And here, they don't bother setting up camp here. But Katara, holding a grudge, brings it up even though it's kind of not important right now. And then we have that, and that's how early on in kind of like the relationship with Toph that it is. They haven't even told her about Zuko. And we see Katara has a few snappy comments herself. And here Momo senses the kind of tank thing coming back this time. There we get our first kind of major look at this kind of vehicle and just kind of how powerful it is. It's made out of metal. It's kind of all angular, completely Fire Nation design. And out come Ozai's angels, Azula, Mai, and Ty Lee. Mai. And this is kind of Azula's first attempt to capture Aang. We know Zhao tried, failed, Zuko's tried and failed. How will Azula's first attempt go? And here, kind of Toph insulting Sokka, you have no bending. And like Sokka's out, I can fight. He's like, no, you're still not part of the group. It's 3-on-3 plus Sokka. Only count benders. And we see how Toph's kind of power assists the group here. Slows them down just enough so that they can escape. Again, they're Azula's still gonna chase them. She knows that they're getting tireder and tireder, and they can just May, Azula, and Ty Lee can just kind of sleep in that machine as it goes. And here we have Katara's kind of fear of losing her bending. It's such an important thing for her bending, and how like Ty Lee's ability to block her bending is so serious for her. And then we see Sokka. Sokka's fear is, what if something happens while I'm asleep? And here we go. And we see that for the first time that Zuko is following Azula and her friends, who are in turn following Aang. So there's going to be a big confrontation in this episode. And just the way the kind of shot is done here, where they're just flying along, and then all of a sudden they kind of start floating up into the air, and you're like, oh no, Appa's falling from the sky. And then Aang just kind of completely hanging just there, completely vertical. He's like, Appa's falling asleep. And he just, the kind of bravery of Aang once again does not care about gravity or heights at all. Just kind of climbs upside down on Appa's face. Wake up! And they kind of like just about survive the fall. Everyone's exhausted, even Appa. And then, Katara is the kind of real problem in this thing. Toph just kind of gets on with things. But Katara keeps bringing up this thing. Bring up this one thing. And, Toph is very confrontational, so she kind of adds to this, makes it even worse. And it's showing that everyone is really tired here. And that, like, she brings up the truth that it's actually Appa who she blames Appa because that is actually the problem, but like none of them realized it until now. And this is where kind of Aang's tiredness kind of comes into it. He tells the truth, but they just need to be kind of stick together. But this is kind of how much sleep deprivation affects people. They've been like awake for, we presume, like 3 or 4 days straight at this stage. We see Sokka trying kind of heal things, but no, Toph's having none of it. And then there's a kind of reveal that yes, they are following Appa's shedding. Aang realizes his airbending teacher's gone, all because we lost it. And then Katara kind of reveals the truth about this episode. They all needed to get used to each other. And it's actually Sokka who was most kind of afraid of not being being awake so long. Who was actually the kind of most one who deals with it the best. They take Toph's kind of. They realize yes that it was Appa's shedding that's leading them there, so they wash him, take heed of Toph's advice. I know they try a plan. They're gonna lead the tank off course, but in their tiredness, they don't they make the mistake flying, hit the top of the tree, and we see Toph walks away. She notices someone's near her being followed, so naturally just instantly attacks or bends it, and it's Iroh. And we're like, Iroh and Toph, that's an unusual combination. And we see the investigative skills of Azula and her friends here, where they realize that yes, they have tried to lead them astray. See, Ty Lee always looking to expand her vocabulary. Clumps. And as we see in the episode The Drill, it's poof, isn't it? Azula knows that it'd be Aang who was leading them astray. He's the airbender. He can cover the distance kind of quicker. So Azula goes to confront Aang. As Sokka and Katara will have round 2 with Mai and Ty Lee. You come to this abandoned town here. Again, kind of old western kind of feel, like Zuko alone. Kind of showing that they are in the same area. Aang absolutely exhausted, kind of just like, I'm gonna wait here. It's time to kind of confront whoever is following us. Just kneels down, an Indian style in front of him, resting. Appa's exhausted too, so they're gonna crash. There is going to be a confrontation. It's an interesting episode in that, like, I'm glad that they kind of sleep-deprived plot. It didn't just, that wasn't the whole 22 minutes of this episode. Just day by day, just like the thing getting worse. It's, early on in the episode, they kind of lose it with each other. Toph leaves, and they're kind of all split up. And then we get the second half of this episode is amazing with these kind of, Aang has split off from Katara and Sokka, and then it leads up to these kind of different confrontations as like other people kind of meet up with each other, and ultimately everyone will come together at the end. We see Sokka here proving that how good a warrior he is, kind of like blocking with his weapons. And then here's the chi blocking thing, this hilarious thing. We see Sokka's wild punches and kicks, but you can't chi block a face like a head like Sokka's. I know they're beaten this time, but they forget about the 10-ton magical monster Appa. Mai and Ty Lee forget about him. Massive airbending hits there straight away. Sokka, animal. Sokka and animals again. There we have Ty Laka, Ty Lee Sokka ship. I'm just the way Sokka is like the biggest kind of ladies man in the show. Him and Iroh must have like a competition. And here we have, the second confrontation. Azula versus Aang. We get it here for the first time that, this is Zuko's sister. He's fought her before. He knows that kind of like she's sort of a match for his abilities. And here we come back to Toph and Iroh's. And as usual, Iroh has tea with people. And we see just how friendly Iroh is to anyone, really. And we see that's kind of like Toph's thing. She thinks anyone she kind of comes in contact with will instantly just see the blindness. But like, most people don't. They kind of notice that she can handle herself. And like, she just is trying to show that she's strong. And like, there is this kind of similarity between him and her and Zuko. And we see that Iroh has been tracking Zuko. And we see just how much Iroh cares about Zuko. That, like, Zuko is kind of lost in a way. Iroh knows who Zuko is, but he just has to get him there, get him over the fact that he does not need his father to give him his honor back. He can kind of give himself that. And how, Toph just needs to let her friends help her, and she help them. And the same with Zuko, he just needs to kind of let Iroh help him. And in a way, it's kind of related to Toph. He needs to kind of let Aang and Co help him too. And like she gives Iroh some advice, which is true. Iroh kind of does in a way need Zuko. And they just epic kind of hear Zuko arise. Yes, I do. And here's where Aang fully realizes that, like, they are brother and sister. And here we have the triangle thing. He sees that they have a conflict with each other, so Aang's gonna use that. But they all realize the same thing. They are all each other's enemies in a way. And it's just the way that the fight starts off with Azula taking out Zuko. She kind of more cares of getting the one up on him rather than him, rather than catching the Avatar. We saw there Azula's fire. She fired a blast of blue fire at Aang and cooled it down with the wind, and we saw that it changed to red, proving that Azula's blue fire is not gonna. It's just hotter and kind of more energetic than regular orange red fire. And here's where we see Aang's agility as an airbender come into play. Zuko charges headfirst in. Azula is kind of the more acrobatic one, where she can keep her balance even there. Aang just can easily kind of escape them. Zuko can't, and that's kind of Zuko's problem. They both kind of have an advantage over him. He only has kind of this massive rage to kind of get him through the fight. He's never going to give up. And here Aang trapped. Like, this could be the end. And here comes Katara. And here's where everyone starts kind of coming into it, and it's just like all of the main characters come together in a massive kind of brawl. Everyone against Azula. Iroh and Zuko are reunited. As like all of Team Avatar to face Azula. Here's Toph. Toph arrives now. And we see that Azula's good, but she's kind of no match for everyone. See everyone against her here. And here, she says to surrender. She's looking for a chance to escape this. How can she escape this? Iroh sees that Toph is a member of Team Avatar. That distracts him enough, and she kind of nails him. That allows her to escape, because they all kind of know that Iroh is not really a bad guy like Zuko, so they're all kind of worried for him. That allows her to escape. And they're all worried for Iroh. Especially Zuko. That's how much he cares. The way he doesn't even want anyone to help. We see just the kind of rage and anger. He doesn't know that Katara can like heal. You see, like they've all helped each other here. They're all kind of sleep next to each other. Katara and Toph are next to each other, that their kind of conflict has ended for now. You know, they were forced to kind of help each other out in the middle of a battle, and that's what brought them together.